Okay, this video I'm going to show you how to get the measurement for your across waist. So when we did your across waist, that's going straight across from your side seam all the way down to the other side seam. So again, using the guides is very helpful. When you lay out your waist flat, it's going to double up here. It's your center front. So you'll pull a guide at your center front. Great. And then you get your drafting tool and you'll draw a line from here straight down to the guide, not to the dip, just straight across. So D or the pencil, click once, say OK, say yes, and then go ahead and click. You don't even have to eyeball it. It can be off and just click it, but here's where you make sure it's not off. We want our line to go straight down. We don't want it to go left for a 1/4 inch. We want it to go 0, just straight down. Say OK. Great. And then right click to finish. Okay, so now we'll double click it. We will name it across waist if that's an option. I don't know that I'm seeing it. There it is, across waist. And we want regular, which is both of them. So we'll say OK. Now some of you are measuring your entire waist all the way around, so that would be this curve plus the back curve. Okay, so you might want to call that your natural waist. So in order to do that, we are going to draft the first one here. So I'm going to say click, and then hold shift for a curve, click, hold shift for the other little anchor point there, okay, and then no shift at the end, and click just once. And then right click to finish. Okay, I'm going to double click that. Oh, that was sound. I just got, when I double clicked, it pulled up the piece, the whole pattern piece, not my line. So if that happens, maybe we zoom in and try to get closer. Let's see if this will work. Okay, it's a little bit off here. I should actually probably move that anyways. While I'm here, oops, use my zoom tool. Okay. Oops. Okay. What we'll probably have to do is add a point on an internal because I skipped that anchor point, and that's why it's off. So I'm going to do that real quick. Add a point right here. It's curve, say OK. And then now go ahead and move it, the little move tool. Oh dear, I don't think it worked. There it goes. Click and say OK. Great, now it's exactly on my piece. That's great. But again, that actually doesn't solve my first problem. Oh, okay, actually when I clicked it, this time it did go to the internal line. So I lucked out. But if I was still having a lot of trouble not selecting my piece, what I do sometimes is I move my contour line just for a second, like just one point on it, so they're not completely overlapping each other. And then it makes it easier to grab it just for me to name it, and then I put the point back on top of the piece. Now, let me know if you guys are having that issue. Okay, so this, I'm going to call it natural waist. I don't believe I have that measurement called out yet. I do want it for both pieces because I want it to go all the way, wrap all the way around the body. So say OK. Okay. Let's see if I can move this guy. Okay, so now I need to add to natural waist and include the back. Okay, so maybe I can zoom in a bit for the back. I will hit D for my draft tool, and I will click the first point. Okay, yes. Hold shift and click that next point. Okay. Hold shift and click the next point. Okay. And then I believe that's a shift. Okay. Oh, we might need to clean up this pattern piece a little bit. And then click the last one. That's not looking good. I'm going to say cancel. Let's try that again. I feel like like we should probably get rid of one of these points. This pattern needs to be cleaned up a little bit. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. So click the first point with our draft tool. Hold shift and get the next one. And again, shift adds the curve. Shift and get the next point. And then I'm not going to hold shift for the last one because it's actually not a curve point. Click. Okay, yes, and then right click to finish. Okay, so now I'm going to double click it. And okay, shoot, when I double clicked it, it opened up the piece information, the whole pattern piece. It did not give me just the segment. But that's actually okay because this pattern piece right now is set to only cutting one per style, and there we should actually cut out two, one for the left leg, one for the right leg. So I guess in a way it's kind of helping us. And we need to give it a name. The other one was called back. Let's call this guy front. And the material should be self fabric. Apply and close. Okay, let's see if we can have any more luck. Just double clicking just the segment line. Nope. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move one point just a little bit. And then now I can double click the segment. Let's hit line. Oh, geez. I'm going to do the line, not the point. There we go. Internal contour info. A little tricky, but I got there. So now this is also part of my natural waist. So I'm going to click the natural waist. And I will say both pieces because there are two of them. Apply OK. Now I'm going to get my move tool and I'm going to move my pattern piece back on that point. And say OK. Okay, I'm going to zoom out. Okay, so let's go ahead and check our report. Report measurements. So our across waist is just 15 inches and 3/8, but our natural waist is 31 inches and 3/8 because it's measuring the whole, it's measuring the curve twice and the back as well. So you can see it's measuring the back piece and the front piece, and two of them. Yeah, okay, great. So again, so finish up all the points of measurements for this assignment and be sure to name it on your pattern. And again, let me know if you have more questions.